main thing that got me going was I was seeing Kelly Hogan out there, because that's what got me going. Was when I saw her, and it was when I was looking for my wife, that's what I saw was Kelly Hogan out there talking about her, and I let my wife watch her video, and that's what got my wife going and basically encouraged her to start it. I was really encouraged by the different women that were doing it, and I'm really encouraged by what my wife is doing and how it's really helped her. And I know it can be an encouragement for other women out there and for other older people out there that are having a hard time. The most frustrating part about it was that my wife was doing everything she could to lose weight. And when she'd go talk to doctors before her last doctor, the last doctor was great, but other doctors would tell her, well, just don't eat a cheeseburger, or just don't do this, or just don't do that. And she wasn't. I would see exactly what she would eat. I would see exactly what was going on. And she wasn't doing anything wrong, and she wasn't losing weight. I mean, she was doing everything possible to lose weight. It's just that she didn't have the thyroid, and the thyroid is so important to metabolism. And if your thyroid isn't in balance, and if your thyroid hormone isn't working right, then everything else is not going to work right. And if you have the inflammation in your body, and if you have everything else that's all out of kilter and all out of whack, then you're not going to lose weight. And basically, we had to eliminate everything in her and in us. You know, no seed oils, nothing to cause inflammation at all in her body, in my body, so that the body could do what it was supposed to do, what it was meant to do. That when she took her medication that the body was doing what it was supposed to do, we started on a magnesium supplement and it was, of course, a powder magnesium, not a caplet. After the research that I've done and so forth, the thing that bothers me the most is that if I would have known now if I'd known then what I know now, then maybe we could have saved her thyroid. That she may not have had to have it irradiated. During this time, she also had her gallbladder removed. And so during this diet, she's had a struggle with her bile, and we got her on some super enzymes by now, and that helped. And if had your gallbladder removed, and if you're doing the carnivore diet, I would recommend you looking into enzymes with ox bile, because that's one thing we didn't know about while doing the carnivore diet. It was never even told to us, and while doing some more research, we noticed that she was having some stomach issues. And we heard that your stomach will adjust to it eventually, but in the beginning, she was having a lot of issues while doing the carnivore diet. So, word to the wise, if you have had your gallbladder removed, or if you're having some issues with digestion, I would recommend you do get the super enzymes by now. It will help, and it did help her. She has adjusted. She doesn't use them as often, but it did help. They have ox bile in it, and they smell awful. She will tell you that. They do smell awful, but it does help, and it did help her. And it's amazing because even though they say the gallbladder's not very important, it really is. It really does do something for you, and it does benefit, and your body will adapt. And you are an amazing instrument. Your body is, and it's well designed, and it will do, and it will accommodate things. We told the doctor that we were going to do it. We were doing the carnivore after we went back to the doctor. Well, like I said, I started the carnivore diet on our April the 11th visit. I weighed 440 pounds. At that time, right before we went in, we had blood work done. Everything, I had a full panel done right before I went in. Found out I was low testosterone. I had low thyroid, and low vitamin D, and low vitamin B12, and I was pre-diabetic. My A1C was 5.9. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't, the 5.7 or below. But I didn't tell my doctor on April 11th that I was going to do the carnivore, but she wanted me to come back because she was putting me on the testosterone therapy, the injectable, and put me on thyroid, just 30 milligrams. And she put me on the injectable vitamin B12, and she wanted me to start taking the 10,000 units of vitamin D, and she wanted me to come back every month. So on April 24th, right before I went back, we decided to do the carnivore. So I went back to the doctor on May the 11th. On May the 11th, after doing the testosterone and the vitamin D and the B12 and the thyroid, and starting the carnivore on May the 11th, when I went back and did my first weigh-in, I'd already lost 20 pounds. Most of that was probably water weight and so forth. But that first weekend after starting carnivore, probably that weekend of the 29th or something like that, I was having some severe chills. And after doing some research again later on, I heard about oxalate dumping. And one of the signs of oxalate dumping is chills. And I didn't know that until like a month ago in June. And so I figure what happened is they said you're supposed to start carnivore kind of slowly. Well, I didn't start slowly. I just started wham into it. And evidently, when you do that, you do a thing called oxalate dumping. And one of the signs of oxalate dumping is chills. And so on like Saturday night, I was just no fever or anything. I was just like shivering, chills, and just feeling miserable. I thought I was really having like a gout attack, because that's what one of the things I do is I have gout, and I've always had gout, and I thought maybe I was having a symptom of gout, and I was having a gout attack on one of my that night. But I was already on an antibiotic because she in my blood work it said I was fighting infection, so she put me on an antibiotic.